In a quiet corner of the world, there was a town that had forgotten time. The streets were empty, the shops were silent, and the laughter of children had long faded. But in the middle of that sleepy town stood a small shop, Arthur's Timepieces. Inside, hundreds of clocks ticked together, yet somehow, time itself felt still. Arthur, the old clockmaker, sat behind his counter, polishing a clock that no one had ordered. He wasn't fixing clocks anymore. He was fixing memories. One rainy evening, Arthur heard something unusual. Footsteps. He looked up, surprised. A young boy, around 10 years old, stood at the door holding a broken wristwatch. His clothes were wet from the rain, but his eyes were full of hope. "Can you fix this?" the boy asked. Arthur took the watch gently. It was old, scratched, and lifeless. "This watch has seen better days," he said. The boy replied softly, "It belonged to my father. He said it brought him luck." Arthur's fingers froze. Luck, a word he hadn't believed in for years. That night, Arthur couldn't sleep. He sat by the window, the rain whispering against the glass. He looked at the broken watch lying on his work table. It reminded him of something, his own dream. Years ago, he wanted to create a clock so perfect that it could measure the heartbeat of time. But life had other plans: debts, failure, loneliness. He gave up, and with it, his purpose. He whispered to the darkness, "Maybe it's not too late." Arthur decided to repair the boy's watch, not for money, but for hope. He gathered his old tools, cleaned the rusted gears, and began working. His hands trembled, but his heart felt alive again. He stayed up nights, his workshop glowing like a lighthouse in the sleeping town. Each tick of another clock around him felt like an applause. Applause for a man who refused to give up. Morning came. The first ray of sunlight touched the dusty shelves. Arthur looked at the watch and smiled. The second hand trembled, then moved. Tick-tock, tick-tock. A sound so small yet powerful enough to awaken a sleeping heart. A few days later, the boy came back. Arthur placed the shining watch in his small hands. The boy looked amazed. "You fixed it!" Arthur smiled. "No, we fixed it. You reminded me that time still moves, and so should I." The boy hugged him, whispering, "My dad will be so happy." For the first time in years, Arthur felt something warm in his chest. Purpose. News spread about the old clockmaker who brought time back to life. People started visiting again, not just to fix clocks, but to fix their faith. His workshop became a place of stories, of laughter, of ticking hope. Arthur no longer counted hours. He counted smiles. And for the first time in decades, the town's bells rang again, marking not just the time of day, but a new beginning. Years passed. Arthur grew older, slower, but never stopped working. One evening, as the sunset painted his shop in gold, he finished polishing his last clock. He sat down, closed his eyes, and listened to hundreds of clocks ticking in harmony. Tick, tock, tick, tock. He smiled, and for the first time, time didn't feel like something lost. It felt like home. Arthur's shop still stands today. People say if you listen closely near sunset, you can still hear the ticking, a reminder that no matter how old, no matter how broken, it's never too late to start again.